Question. I've been wondering that myself. That's a great question. I've been wondering that myself. That's a great question. I've been wondering that myself.
Another beautiful picture of my sisters back in the days, and you can just look at her, all her features, all her hair, nothing about her that I would change. Okay, back to the story. Something I found really interesting that I highlighted in this book about Samoa. This is more of the beauty of the Samoan woman. I'm not saying in this book that they looked at Polynesian women and thought they were all beautiful, but um, it's interesting. It will kind of like explain to you a little bit about the how they saw Samoan woman. And on here, this is a narrative from Hamilton. On their first coming on board, excuse me, they trembled for their fear they were perfectly ignorant of firearms, never having seen European ships. Um, he noticed that Samoans, we dyed our skins yellow. So there was a somehow back in the days we used to dye our skins yellow. This was turmeric, used on ceremonial occasions, for example on the bride's skin. For the marriage ceremony, the question that then arises, had the Samoans applied the dye for the purpose of meeting the Balangis boat? Hamilton also noticed that some of them had their skins tingled with yellow, and adds neither sex wear any clothes, but a girdle of leaves around their middle, stained with different colours. The women adorn their hair with chaplets of sweet-smelling flowers and bracelets of necklace of flowers round their wrist and necklace. If this were so, we must conclude that the presentation was ceremonial, for no such floral adornment on the head and the neck was used for ordinary fishing. So, I don't know if that's what they must have thought, but maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. And if we carry on, like if we keep reading it, and we'll see right over here, this is the highlights I made. One woman, this is his explanation of this Samoan woman. One woman, amongst many others in the canoe, came on board. She was 6 feet high, of exquisite beauty and exact symmetry, being naked and unconscious of her being so, added the lustre of her charms, for in this words of the poet, she needed not the foreign ornaments of dress, careless of beauty, she was beauty herself. Many mouths were watering for her, but Captain Edwards, with great humanity and prudence, had given previous orders that no woman should be permitted to go below, as our health had not quite recovered in the shock and received in Otahiti, where numerous sexual encounters had occurred, followed by venereal diseases in the crew, and the lady was obliged to be contented with viewing the great cabin, where she was shorn in wonders of the Lord on the face of the mighty deep. Before evening the women went all on shore, and the men began to be troublesome and pilfering. The third lieutenant had a new coat stolen from his cabin. So you can see right here many mouths were watering for her, but Captain Cook, with great humanity and prudence, had given previous orders that no woman should be permitted to go below, as their health had not quite recovered from the shock. Okay, as you can see right here, because there's two accounts. There's the English one and there's the French one, right? And right here, you can actually see a description of how our women looked like in the past. And you can see how tall they were and how beautiful they were. So, when reading this, especially from the English point of view, makes me realize the more I read this book that the reason why the French, and I think they had something like 10 or 9 men, I'm not sure how many, they got killed by Samoans. I'm starting to realize the reason why they were killed. I think they were trying to kidnap Samoan woman. That's my point of view. So it's just a little snippet of a description of how Europeans saw Samoan women in early 1700s. So that's a little education for you, or little, something that you can take for today.